Hello again, guys. It's Carly from the Poetry of Nice. And first things first, a very Merry Christmas week. I am recording this on the 26th, Boxing Day to me, but just the day after Christmas for most people over here in America. And I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday. So I'm here in this video, and I'm going to be sharing some of the sales that I've had this kind of Christmas week. I'm going to be doing from December the 16th through to the 22nd. So not actually covering Christmas Day itself. That'll be next week. But this is a good, way of me sharing with you guys exactly what it looks like for me as a reseller online in terms of dealing with holiday periods and when the sort of retail surge tends to die down. And that's definitely reflected in this video. I only sold 18 individual items this week, which is quite a lot less than I usually do. I'm usually sort of 30 and above-ish. But that's okay. That's the way that it works. We're at the end of fourth quarter. Most people have stopped buying those few days before Christmas. And that's okay because it gives me some time off as well. So I'm going to do just like I normally do. I'm going to take you through Etsy, Poshmark, and eBay, which are the three platforms that I sell on. I'll let you know each and every item that has sold. I'll tell you where I picked them up for, how much I paid for them originally, and approximately how long they took to sell, as long as I sort of remember that. So here we go. First thing first on Etsy is this vintage 90s Tasmanian Devil Looney Tunes Christmas ornament. He was kind of like a Scrooge Dickensian kind of character with candy canes and stuff and a gift under his arm. This has been listed in my store for probably 2 years. I think this is its third Christmas cycle, and it sold just a few days before Christmas for $19.95. I'm glad to see him go on his way. And the next two items on Etsy actually sold together. So they were both just a couple of vintage Christmas baubles. They were really, really cute, both from the 70s, I believe. So there was this one, and they're both dated. And then this one as well with the cute little cowlers and the dogs. They were actually $9.95 each is what they sold for. So together just under $20. All right, and on to Poshmark. So we have a LuLaRoe grey solid textured skirt. I don't think I could figure out the actual name of this skirt, so I just called it a fit and flare. But this sold for $20, which I find is, pretty good really for LuLaRoe. I know a lot of people don't pick it up. I really am very specific on the price point that I will pay for it. And sort of, I tend to go for solids above prints unless it's like a Disney print or something like that. But this was listed probably for about 6 months at this point. So $20 is what that went for. And I think that was probably a yard sale find. This would have been a rummage sale find. Oops, where did it go? Just a vintage Tennessee Vols graphic t-shirt. I love picking up the vintage collegiate items, t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets. They do really well for me, and they're sort of steady sellers, but when it comes to fall, they tend to sell a lot more because people are going to school and football games are starting, all that kind of stuff. So I collect them all year round and then tend to list them en masse come August. So this one sold for $18. I usually try and get around $25, but honestly, this week I was just ready to take some offers. Next to these Steve Madden, they're almost like platforms. They kind of had like a platform underneath, kind of like wedge style. They were like a quilted faux leather. I'd hoped that they would do better, and the comps seem to suggest that they may be close to the $30-$35 range, but unfortunately they have sat in my closet now for 5 to 6 months, and they've had some interest but no offers. So when someone came along and offered me $20, I went ahead and took that. Next is this Patagonia quarter zip capeline, I think is what it was. So it's like a layering piece essentially. It did have, unfortunately, a couple of like little minor pulls and things like that. It had a little bit of wear to it. Patagonia is a great brand to pick up. I love to find it, but this kind of piece is more on the less desirable side because they're just those layering basics. If you can find them with really bright like Nordic prints and fleeces or quilted like puffer jackets, things like that, those are such good money for resale. But anyway, with this piece, I took an offer of $14, and this was from a filler bag, so it was very, very low cost of goods. I usually mention as well, I mentioned it so quickly, I consider my average cost of goods for item across the year about $1 a piece is how it evens out for me. That's how my CPA and I tend to fathom it out when we look at all my receipts. So please just imagine that each item is roughly $1 in terms of investment in it. Okay, onwards. This Smokey the Bear like graphic tank top, I loved this. It was such cool neon colors. These shoulders were shredded. And I think that was somebody who actually did that like a DIY. So I had to kind of disclose that if you like in my listing, but I don't think it detracted from it. I think it was still a very cool piece. So $18 is what that graphic tee sold for. It was no specific brand. So these were from a filler bag not long ago. Dansko's, which is a great shoe brand. It's like a comfort shoe. I'm sorry for the scratching in the background. That's my dog shuffling around. Bear with me. They're like a comfort shoe. So people who are on their feet all day, like teachers or nurses or chefs or someone like that, tend to really enjoy this brand. Let me see if I can find the logo for you. There we go. That's what it looks like. You want to check for dry rot with these kinds of shoes. So basically means you give them a good old bend around the sole and see if they have any give. But you'll usually know if they're starting to rot a little bit in the soles, which they can be prone to, because you'll get a black sticky residue on your fingers and you will know about it because it's hard to get off. So yes, filler bags. So these were under $1, most likely investment. They did have some wear to the toes, as you can see here. I did give them a good scrub up, but I mean, there was some real wear there. However, they still sold for $35, which was my full asking price, and I've already got the 5-star feedback that they were very, very satisfied with their purchase. So it just goes to show, if it's a good brand, you can still sell them as long as you have full disclosure of any flaws that they do have. Okay, the next two items were bundled together on Poshmark. This is actually my first home good, I think, that I've sold on Poshmark, so yay. And this one to Tailored and Teal. Hello, if you're watching. She is somebody on Poshmark that I love to share some of her closet and just follow what she has. She has a great store if you want to check it out. It is Tailored and Teal, and I'll link it down below. But anyway, she bought this vintage Hallmark Maxine candy dish. It says, eat all you want, I like big targets, which just made me cackle. So I got this at a rummage sale. She bought this piece, and then she bought the next one, which is a sweatshirt that I only just picked up from a thrift store. And the two of those items together were $38 as the bundle. This was so pretty, by the way. It had like gold embroidered detail. So cute. And the last Poshmark item this week was this vintage 90s Southwestern cropped sweater. And the back was kind of interesting because it had this like deep V back style detail there, but it was sort of a cropped length. Definitely an interesting piece. Had shoulder pads and everything, the full works. And this sold for a best offer of $22 and was probably listed for about 4 months at this point. Okay, on to eBay. So this was a new to me brand, Duck's Back is what I think it says. Let me pull up the label in case I butchered that. There you go, Duck's Back. There you go. Anyway, it was a flannel shirt, essentially, orange and blue plaid flannel shirt. But I brought it home because it felt like good quality, and I just really like a good flannel sometimes. And it turned out the brand was actually pretty good. So it sold for the full asking price you see here of $39.99, though it did take several months to sell, and then plus the shipping, of course, that the buyer is paying. Next is this Lucky brand. It's kind of like a tote bag or like a hold all. It had two different straps, one that was long and could be worn maybe crossbody, and one that was shorter and braided leather. I picked this up at a filler bag rummage sale. I had my eye on it, and it was $8 at the rummage sale, and then everything went on to just, if you can get it in a bag, you just pay however much for that one bag. And I did manage to squeeze it in, and I took a best offer for this item of $30, so good turnaround there. It's probably listed for about 2 months. This was a new with tags Land's End blouse, new without tags, I should say. It still had all its original packaging and stuff with it, just didn't have the tags attached anymore. It was a 1X, so a great size. And this is a piece of a lot that I picked up from somebody, like an acquaintance here in my city. She was looking to get rid of some clothes. She didn't want to go to Goodwill. She asked if I would like to pay sort of a flat rate and just take them, and this was one of the items. So that was really beneficial, I hope, for both of us. All right, a loft cardigan. This has been listed for a long time, you guys. I want to say like over a year at this point. I picked it up because I liked the color, the like mauve type color and that ruffle edge, and it was even a merino wool blend. Like it had a lot of things going for it, but it just took a long time to sell. So it has eventually sold now for $14. This American Girl doll, so I found her and the clothing and coat hanger and stuff that came with her at a rummage sale, and I picked them up for $1 for all of them, doll and everything included. First American Girl doll I've ever found. And then the next week at a yard sale, I picked up the American Girl doll holder for $1 as well. So I decided obviously to lot them all together and make a bit of a lot of them. She had a few marks and things like that, and it took me a while to identify her. Apparently she was Kit. But yes, she had actually sold twice before, and both times the people didn't pay, which is very disappointing. But this time she sold for a best offer of $60 for this whole bundle here, and they did pay, and they already left feedback, and they're very, very happy. So I hope some little girl somewhere has just fallen in love with her. Okay, and the last item is this Michael Kors pleated denim skirt. It was kind of like knee-length skirt, and I picked this up at a yard sale again, that $1 price point, and it sold for best offer of $25. All right, you guys, so that is all the sales that I've had this week. It is still not picking up yet. Of course, it is December 26th, so I wasn't expecting much in the way of sales on the 24th and the 25th, of course. But I'm definitely starting to crank out more listings now. Now that the holidays are kind of passing by, it's time to get working, time to get some more listings up, and so that when things do pick up, my stores are ready and prepared, and I have things that hopefully people are looking for with their spending money. Who knows? All right, you guys, let me know down in the comments how your holidays went, how your holiday sales have been. What are you doing for New Year? Let's just have a chat. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you enjoy this kind of reseller content, please do think about hitting the subscribe button down below, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, you guys.